Hey everyone, it's Gemma and I'm here today with my February wrap-up. I know it's a tad late. That's just because I've spent the last 4 weeks on prac down south and I didn't take my video camera, which is also why all my videos from the last month were pre-recorded. So I'm so glad to be back in front of the camera, and I'll put this video up straight away. So it's pretty much live, like it's no pre-recording, and I'm so happy with that. I'm just gonna get straight into it. I read a total of 9 books over February, which was pretty good considering I had a heap of work to do, and February is the shortest month of the year. So the first book I read was Akane by Lynette Noni, and I was sent this by Simon & Schuster. It is published by Pantera Press, and holy crud, this book was so good. It was like, people keep saying it's a mix between Narnia and Harry Potter, and I definitely can see that, but it's awesome on its own account. Like, I gave this, I think, a 10 out of 10. It was that good. Maybe it was a 9 out of 10, but can't remember. It was that good. So yes, please pick this up. And it's by an Australian author too, which is amazing. Oh, it's so good. And like, that cover, seriously, and that's fine. Amazing. The next book I read was Lord of the Flies by William Golding. I read this with Denise Dressling. I'll put her channel down below. Go check her out because she's amazing. We did this as a buddy reads. Tad disappointed. I can't remember what I gave it. I think I maybe gave it like a 4 or 5 or a 6. Can't remember, but anyway, it wasn't very good. I was so disappointed because I had such high hopes for this and everyone talks it up. And realistically, it's just a classic that wasn't written very well and was confusing and very disappointing. The next thing I read was not disappointing. I picked this up for $4 at one of my favourite bookstores just because I'd heard so much rave about it, and I was like, well, it's cheap, I'll check it out. Beautiful Disaster by Jamie Maguire. I stayed up all night the night before my prac started reading this book because it was so good, and I know their relationship is toxic and it would never work in real life, but I loved every single piece of this book. The last chapter was a little cheesy for me, but oh my god, it's so good. I can't remember what I gave this, like a 9 or a 10 as well. And then I read the Divergent trilogy. This is the first time I'd ever read it. This is the first time I ever read this trilogy. I know I'm pretty late to the bandwagon. I did see the movie. I thought it was like like it was okay, and that's probably why it took me so long to get around to reading the books. The first book, it was pretty good. The second book, the third book, like I thought they were good, but I just really didn't feel as though they deserved the hype they get. And oh, the last book, I kind of really felt though, I'm not going to spoil it, don't worry, I was spoiled for it. I kind of felt like the author, she was just, oh, they're by Veronica Roth, by the way. She was trying to find a way, like she didn't know, like I just feel as though in the first book she had an idea, she knew what she wanted, and then the second 2 books she was like, oh wow, these are successful, what am I going to do with it? And she had no idea where to go with the story, and I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone because I know so many people like it, but I just felt like she was like, oh well, hashtag YOLO, let's do that. So yeah, tad disappointed. Then I read, I'll put it right here. Then I read Why Youre Australian, A Letter to My Children by Nikki Jamel. The lady I was staying with for my prac, she was my teacher in primary school and I was working at her school. So the author, Nikki Jamel, she's Australian and she lives in England, but she wanted her children to experience an Australian childhood. So she brought them over for like 3 months, and they went to school at my principal's school. And so yeah, anyway, she brought it out for me to read, and my hometown was mentioned in it, which was amazing, and it was just really like nostalgic to look back on all the childhood memories that I have. So if you ever want to know what an Australian childhood is, pick this book up because it's pretty spot on. And yes, also we never wear shoes. Like, look, I don't ever wear shoes. No one wears shoes in Australia, and it's not a thing of like poverty, it's like a thing of, that's just us. The next thing I read was Before the Fire by Sarah Butler, and I was sent this by Pan Macmillan. It was okay. I wasn't expecting, I read the back and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, and then I read it and I was like, oh, like it wasn't misleading or anything, but I just didn't realise it was quite anyway, it wasn't what I was expecting, and it was a little dark for me, but it was still slightly enjoyable. Not slightly, like I did enjoy it, just not greatly. I'm kind of going through this thing right now where if a book's not great, I think I just don't want to read it, because I have so many books that I need to read, and I just don't have time to read mediocre books. So I kind of felt like a bit like, reading this. Like, it was okay, but it wasn't great, and I want to read great books. I don't want to waste my time reading books. Speaking of great books, Claiming Noah. This is by Amanda Ortlep. I received this from Simon & Schuster for a review, and I had to do planning all weekend, and I got up and I was like, oh, you know, just had some pizza for breakfast. You know what I wouldn't mind doing? Wouldn't mind just reading for, you know, half an hour. 3.5 hours later, I finished this. It was so good. I could not put it down. I didn't try. I could have, but actually I don't think so. But it was so good, and I can't explain it because it would take me ages. But it's kind of like about an IVF and a child goes missing. Oh my god, so good. I think I gave this a 10 out of 10. I had a pretty good reading month. Like, Beautiful Disaster, Claiming Noah, and Akane for me were all fantastic reads, like amazing. And then Lord of the Flies, blah. Before the Fire, And then, Nikki Jamel's one, I think I gave that like a 9 out of 10 as well. So that was amazing. And then the Divergent trilogy, like, it was good, it was okay. So like, yeah, pretty good reading month for February. So yeah. I will put up my February book haul, which is so freaking huge, very soon. If you want to read my reviews for any of these books, please look down below for my book blog. And yeah, that's all the details. Like everything else, my social media and all that stuff is linked down below too. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye.